Our first look at Phantom Nightmare and the new archetype. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys do not miss out on more awesome content. Phantom Nightmare, hard to believe that this set comes out on February 8th, and sneak peek is literally a week and a half away at this point. So take a moment to appreciate that the next core changing set is almost here. Now we start things off with Yubel returning to the spotlight here. There's a pretty big push for Yubel in this set, and I mean understandably so, because Yubel kind of was the heart and soul of the later half of GX, you know, especially when you were looking at how things were going out here. The fact that, you know, we do get basically a trap card that acts as super poly, and, you know, you get this new fusion Yubel stuff in here as well, and of course the Painful Thorn. I mean, there's more set support coming in Legacy that helps this out, but, you know, this at least gets Yubel's foot in the door to be a little bit more competent of a deck, which is good. Now, we have official confirmation, finally, that Novox and the Guardians of Saravis and Friends are getting, they're no longer Silent Fork or Silent Forces. Their name change is officially Voiceless Voice, and I actually quite like that. This archetype is actually just like the coolest thing ever. Like, you have a competent ritual theme, and if you've paid attention to the OCG tournament results, you have seen how good this deck can be, all right? Now, they do have more support once again coming out in Legacy. This is where we open up the door and we get our foot out here to kind of see, you know, what we can start doing for this theme. And yes, all right, the waifu tax is very, very real. Also, you know, the fact that, you know, this archetype has a 4,200 attack point ritual monster is crazy enough as it is. So I do highly recommend this will be highly competitive. Next up, the Goblin Bikers. Yes, they are officially called the Goblin Bikers. And to be honest with you, it's just mainly a tie-in to your Diabellstar lore out here. Of course, you know, the next adventure that we had to go on had to be against a misfit gang of goblin bikers. And some of these, I feel like one of them is just like Junkrat from Overwatch out here, riding around on this thing that's not really a bike. But this is an Exceed theme. It's definitely cool to see that, you know, we're getting more of these generic little themes along the way that we can mess around with. But for a competitive sense of things, the Goblin stuff didn't really stick. It leaves a little bit to be desired out here, but okay. And remember, the sneak peek card is the Goblin Biker Grand Entrance, and as per most sneak peek cards out here, you're probably going to be seeing this in Secret Rare status, but this is the one that adds a Goblin monster from the deck to the hand, and then you can apply the following effect, which lets you detach an Exceed material from anywhere on the field, and if you do, you can special summon a level 4 lower Goblin monster from your hand, and then we can banish this from the graveyard, detach an Exceed material from a monster on the field to add a Goblin monster from our graveyard to our hand. This card is actually incredibly strong, and being able to add any Goblin monster is really, really good. Now, Ashen. This is what I think most of us were, you know, kind of dreading. You know, one of the biggest things that you got to remember out here in the Yugiverse is when they go, hey, you know, you got to go buy that $80 card in order to, you know, play the upcoming theme. A lot of heads kind of turn, and a lot of people kind of go, ugh, I don't know how I feel about that. And, you know, this is what we got. So evidently Ashen is a story about this little angry dragon kind of, I'm not going to lie, a lot of these monsters I think were drawn by the Goaty artist out here. But anyway, this dragon like burns away the souls of people. And it's like actually kind of scary powerful that this dragon has this ability to burn your literal essence into the ground. Like, if this thing only has less than 3,000 attack points, I'm going to call shenanigans. Now, we did get this little thing as well here. And see what I mean by how this thing looks like a goatee monster? It looks just like a fire goatee. Like, did the goatees fall from the sky out here and just drop down and be like, today we want to be pyro monsters? I don't know, but I found that pretty funny. But these dragons, it feels like they're going to be dark pyro, which, to be fair, I mean, we do need some like dark pyro support to actually kind of lighten things up right here. Here's another picture of our dark dragon, and the little part that you can't actually see here is him like actually burning their souls into the ground around him. Like, I'm actually wondering, this should be just an effect monster. If he's actually going to be like a fusion or a synchro, that would be like absolutely wild. Like, you would have to reach very far into the lore out here to basically make something like this end up being like that. Now, of course, we also got this general. And this is, I think, one of the coolest things, because you can tell that he feels like a spirit monster, especially with the way that the aura is around him, which is very, very interesting. I don't necessarily think it's a good idea that these guys are going to be spirit themed. I'm just hoping that, you know, this is just the essence of this. Also, the 3D effect on this reminds me of a Resident Evil character, honestly. Now, this one was really cool. The armor and the aesthetic on this is actually very, very cool. I also is that a giant hammer on his hand on the left? This thing is an absolutely killing machine. You can also tell, like, the pyro spikes coming out of his back. He has had a very, very rough battle out here. And I'm hoping that this actually ends up being a very good card, because this captures the essence of this. Once again, you can see the white aura, though, for the spirit form. Uh-oh. And then, of course, for those of us that knew that this was coming, there had to be a waifu in the set. There always has to be a waifu out here. Once again, see the same spirit essence that we've got going on with this archetype. And of course, you can actually see like the star sparkle actually resonating off of the body here, projecting this feel for the character. And that's actually, they did very, very good for this. All right. Now, that's everything we have for Ashen. That's it. All right. That was nothing special. Now, we did get a preview of everything else that we did know was kind of coming in the set here. We know that Raid Raptors get their fat, super, omega rank 13. The only thing I care about out here is it is a Waking the Dragon target. You do get the full force of the Raid Raptor stuff, which is going to put this deck on the radar. Actually, I think a lot more people are more excited for the Raid Raptor stuff, and they should be. And then, of course, a Roamage support. All the people out here that have been waiting on the Sun Avalon stuff, you know, after the last devastating list, a lot of people are looking to mess around with this stuff, try it, and see what they can possibly come up with. We also know that we do get the new Magispector support in here, which, unfortunately, you know, without Unicorn and friends, it's going to be a little bit of a miss. But, you know, Konami's out here trying, so I guess we should try to give the theme some love. And, of course, the brand new Goatee support. I'm actually super excited for the Goatee stuff. Like, Goatee Runic is going to be a huge, huge try out here for what you want to be able to try and mess around with. Now, they did give us one little last piece of info here. EMP Meow Mine is an ultra rare. You know, the thing that every Cyverse player was looking forward to out here was this little extender. And, you know, I'm actually surprised to see that, you know, this didn't make a secret rare slot. Now, Promethean Princess getting an ultra rare slot. Good job, Konami. You won one. Does not stop the quarter century enjoyers that are about to throw infinite money at their screen to get this thing in quarter century, but this is good. This will keep the masses quiet. You know, they've already had to pay for the sins of the $80 bonfires and that. The Promethean Princess, good. Just a little bit of a gateway in here. It can't hurt you, right? Right. Well, this set comes out February 3rd and 4th for sneak peek. I hope your wallets are ready for quarter century Promethean Princesses. If you're not ready to make that level of commitment to the fire deck, everybody else will be, and people will be upset that it's going to cross into another $200, $300 situation. Yeah, that writing's on the wall. And set comes out February 8th. I am very curious to know where Populous is going to be. Interesting. So, please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'm really looking forward to seeing what the Ashen cards can actually do. Supposed to get that tomorrow. You guys have a good rest of your day, alright? Patrons! Thank you!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.